right, so welcome everyone to our event. We're waiting a few minutes for other participants to join. I hope you have good mood and a great morning. As this is a weekend, probably it took you a bit to leave your everyday stuff and join our meeting today. All right, so if you're looking for the way to become more confident speaker at international pharma company, if you want to build better relationship with your colleagues, partners, let's say, right? This is the right place for you. Today, we will not only learn, but also play and get to know each other to get the best out of the meeting. At the end, I will share with you some interesting prizes and the way how to improve your English. Today we have a special guest. Today, and this is Oksana Gerasimchuk. I'm so excited to see you here, Oksana. And she will tell us more about herself, her journey in pharma industry, and how she managed to improve her skills, and a bit more about the pharma club she represents. So first of all, I'll tell a bit about me. For those who don't know me, I'm Hannah Radil. I started teaching English more than 20 years ago, and since summer 2020, I focused on pharma professionals. Why so, you may ask? Why pharma, not someone else, right? This is the great industry, and it brings the biggest impact to the society. Apparently, I was interested in how drugs perform and wanted to help my clients in the industry. And probably, if you want to learn something good, then you need to focus on that. So it took me a while, right, to learn about the industry and the communication styles that pharma professionals use, how they build relationship, what's the goals, etc. So we'll talk about that today. And right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Oksana Gerasimchuk, and she will tell us about her unique journey in pharma. And Oksana, welcome. Please join that.
Hello, Hannah, thank you so much for such a warm introduction. Dear colleagues, I'm happy to be here. My name is Oksana, and I'm here on behalf of Pharma Club Ukraine. Just a few words about our organization. We are a non-profit civil organization, and we unite not only pharmaceutical professionals, but also other companies who bring additional value to the industry and help to perform better, to advance different process and bring other benefits to the industry in general. Later, I will share like a few slides about the description what actually club offer for the community, what we do, how we performed in 2024, and you can look at this presentation by yourself later. So I would like to say that honestly, about 6 years ago, I couldn't have imagined myself co-hosting an English webinar, as my journey towards fluent English had just begun. Despite the fact that my entire professional background is connected to pharmaceutical field and the healthcare sector, it was my good knowledge of English that truly allowed me to grow professionally. A strong level of English helped me secure a position in international business development at an IT company. And in that role, I developed B2B cooperation and was responsible for the international market. But before that, I worked as a medical sales representative and a key account manager in the local Ukrainian market. And to be honest, I wasn't fully prepared for such professional growth. While my English was sufficient for basic communication, I wasn't very familiar with specific industry vocabulary, even though I worked in pharmaceutical field, but it was Ukrainian market. I knew everything in Ukrainian, but not in English. So I really needed good preparation before I started my professional development on the international level and on specific pharmaceutical field. I worked with pharmacovigilance departments. But today we have a lot of possibilities to advance specific vocabularies and to boost your business English. I'm happy that today, through the weekend, we have participants who would like to build better version of themselves, and you have a great choice to polish English, to make your pronunciation more smooth, to collaborate with your colleagues, and to be on the same boat with your interlocutors. So thank you so much for this invite, and I would be happy to hear the questions from your side that might be related to my professional development or to the Pharma Club of Ukraine. So let's start our journey, our event, and in a friendly, warm atmosphere. I'm happy to be a part of this.
Right. Thank you, Oksana, for the great introduction. If you have any questions, you can ask them right now. And also feel free to pause and ask whatever you want during the workshop we're going to have. Our goal is not only to learn, but practice English. So this is the unique opportunity for you. By the way, if you want to introduce yourself right now, you have such an opportunity to, and share your unique story during this workshop or might be other workshops. So is there anyone who'd like to tell a bit about yourself? All right.
Who will break the ice?
All right, then you'll have the chance to do it later, of course. So we need to practice a bit. And I'm going to share my screen. The presentation will help us to communicate better and make sure we are on the same wave. All right, so we learn how to empower your professional communication. It's not enough just to know English and know the vocabulary, but you need really to learn how to connect with people. And you can do it only when you practice and see what works well for you. You would definitely need to learn the techniques to connect better with people in the industry. And of course, mention about the vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and all the other stuff that you need to cover. So what is my idea? Actually, you can learn English to the intermediate level, and you can be fluent and can communicate in some daily situations. But when it comes to international meetings, you might feel a bit stuck. You cannot express yourself fully because you're afraid of making mistakes, or you're not sure that your idea would be heard or understood the right way. You don't know some words, or you know how to translate it word by word in your language into English, but it doesn't work the same way and it doesn't sound or deliver the same message in English. So it makes sense to practice, to learn from others, and of course, from the different workshops and trainings, which are more focused on the industry. When you go to the higher levels, let's say you attend different clubs, or even you have some teachers to work one-on-one, but you understand that the highest level, you learn the vocabulary you rarely meet, and you cannot memorize them, and it's not helping you to do the job the best. It's not helping you to be more confident at your work. So it makes sense to learn the vocabulary and the grammar through the perspective of pharma industry and the situations that you face on daily basis, and practice, role play them, and understand what is right way for you. All right. Good. Thank you, Oksana, for sharing the presentation about the club so everyone can download it and learn more about the community and how it can help pharma professionals. Sometimes you are on the way of looking for a new position or new job, or you want to get new insights about the industry. It's great to be a part of community that can support you on this journey. So I would encourage you really to open and learn. And even so, of course, it's just for Ukrainians, but maybe the other countries may find it useful as well. All right. So what we're going to learn that first, pharma-specific vocabulary. We cannot learn all the vocabulary, of course. Just practice with the most common phrases, and you will learn how you can practice more. And then we'll focus on some communication techniques. And of course, role play, practice through different quizzes, games, and of course, the bonuses and the prizes for you. At the end, I will tell you more about this 21-day challenge, why this program is special, because it helps professionals stick to daily practices and at the same time to communicate and practice through the live meetings with other pharma professionals to understand better where you are, what is challenging for other people, and unite in the way build relationship with them. And of course, remember, if you have a question, if something not clear, write in the chat your question, or just feel free to pause and of course ask your questions. You can just mute on your microphone, turn on your microphone, and share your question, because we are here to really interact and get the most out of this meeting. So is everything clear at the moment? Are there any questions before I start? All right. Not yet. Okay, I got it. Let's move on. The first step is pharma-specific vocabulary. You can learn it through the communication with your colleagues. It often happens that you have to write business emails. You may use translators, you may use AI technologies. There are different ways how you can do it, and it's kind of easy, right? Just to check if everything is correct and send the email or a message. The other thing, when you have to join the live meeting and communicate on spot, share your thoughts and react. Sometimes it might be challenging even to understand the other party. And it makes sense to learn some phrases, how to clarify what they mean. All right, but it's important also to know what works best for the email or the messages you send or the documents, what is the right way to compose them so they are professional, leave great impression, and moreover, they are clear for others. And we'll practice through different examples, of course. We'll learn the techniques, how to present your thoughts during the meeting, and practice with that as well. The first step is pharma vocabulary. As you know, there are different departments in the industry. The clinical research, it's another word of the medicines appear, and then tested. After that, we have sales and marketing. They make sure these medicines goes right to the patients, first through healthcare professionals or other institutions. What else? Of course, there are some others like regulatory authorities, quality assurance, and not to mention other departments as we have in each common company. I'm talking about HR, finance, and probably some others. But we focus on the pharma related. So let's practice. I'll send you the link to the chart. It will take you around 5 minutes. I don't think it takes too long for you. Just send in the link to the chart so you could practice on your own. Just click the link and you see you have to type your name here. I'm just trying to put it in the chart for you. If you're using your telephones, probably it would be a bit challenging to go through the quiz. Then you can do it later, of course. Or practice with all of us. I see that someone is on the road, but make sure to come on time to our meeting. So welcome. All right. So type your name, for example. I just type my name. Just don't understand that this is me. And you go through the quiz. As we are online, not sure if that will synchronize properly on the side. So we just go through a few slides and I'll give you a chance to do it on your own and later share which of the vocabulary was the most challenging for you, the most difficult, difficult in writing, spelling, pronunciation, or just remember what it means. Oksana, you have great cat. All right, so let's continue. Hello, Kitty. All right. So clinical trial. What is clinical trial? Please let me know if you can see it on my screen.
PC.
Sorry?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So what is clinical trial? There are 4 options. Which one is correct? All right. Well, let's hear others. As I mentioned, it's more convenient to go in a quiet space when you are you have a chance to read carefully the words and understand what it means. Somebody typed B, the proportion of drugs. Well, maybe not really the correct answer to this question. All right. So it's first of all a study, right? A part of the industry where the drugs are tested and make sure they are safe and effective for patients. And there are several phases of clinical trials. It makes sense to learn more about them. So the first one is research study. As you can see, you can learn through this interactive way and gain some bonuses at the end. This next word is efficacy. Can you see this word and definitions?
No, it's still clinical trials.
Okay, then probably you would need to go it and to complete it on your own. Well, everyone know what is efficacy, effectiveness, effective, or sometimes there's difference between them. Just make sure you use them right. Just go through this quiz on your own, and after that, let us know which of the words were the most difficult for you. I will see the results afterwards on my side, and you'll have a chance to practice with these words even several times, as the presentation will be shared with the participants, with the registered participants, as well as all the materials we covered today. All right, so just do it and let us know when you finish. You may take your drinks with you, coffees, or anything you have with you, tea, juice, or something else. Let me know if you managed to go through the quiz. If everything is easy, just leave the plus in the chart to have a better picture of who is doing and going through the quiz and who doesn't have such opportunity. All right. Well, there are 15 questions. Just make sure you know the words. Sometimes you have to explain the words in the simple way, or explain someone who doesn't belong to the industry, or vice versa, again, to discuss it with the professionals. And then you would need to use really professional vocabulary. It might be challenging, but as you learn through definitions, it would be easier as you'll practice how to explain the words to others. Except the clinical trials, there are other words related to different departments, so just go through them. Right. We will be 1 minute to this task and then move on to the next step. Tom, not yet. None of you completed it to the end. Well, how do you find it? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Okay, great, Oksana. Maria answered the questions. Great. All right. Good job on that. I understand it takes time to go through all of them. So please take the time later after the meeting. And we continue our training today. There's one thing, and another one is how to use the words in the sentences in the right way. So what works best is to go in through different contexts. You may check the articles, you may attend meetings and pay attention how other people, your colleagues, how they use the vocabulary. You may check lots of videos available on the internet. Just make sure you use the right words and you understand the meaning. You can see another quiz on my screen. And again, you can practice through it on your own. It will take a bit more time, so I will leave it till the end, or maybe you can just do it alone, as we have a limited time for today. All right, as I mentioned, there is one program that I created for professionals who are interested in boosting their vocabulary. It's called Vocabulary Booster. And for the most active participants, this program will be, I'll send it there. Actually, I'll register you at the event for free, and you'll have a chance to improve your vocabulary. Or what is in the program? There are short videos with different articles, case studies, and of course some quizzes to practice, and open tasks, creative tasks, so you could make sure you understand and apply the vocabulary learned. You can do it at any time, step by step. And of course, if there is anything you don't understand, you'll have a chance to write to me. There is a form on the website, or just email me. I would be happy to help you with this journey. All right, so what we focus on today: writing emails, speaking confidently in meetings, and if have time, we will focus on phrases for networking and small talk. So these are small words, how to start the conversation so it's not awkward, so it's easy, and it helps you, as you can see, someone you feel really connected to. You see that it's easier to first start with small talk with the person, to have all the meeting smooth and comfortable, rather than just go straightforward to business and don't feel that there is someone you have a relationship with. You, as a result, you don't feel comfortable to discuss all their objections, etc. When you have open communication, all the things are much, much easier. So we'll start with such an email, and look through this email. So this is follow-up email. Oftentimes it happens that we send in something, a document, or any other information to people, and they simply don't respond. There might be different reasons, right? They might not see it, it might trap to spam, or they're so busy and overwhelmed, which often happens, that they may forget about your email. So it makes sense to remind them about it, especially when that's important, right? So this is one email where the information is presented really in, I would say, concise manner. We have the greeting like, hi. What do you think about this greeting? It shows us that there is informal way of communication, right? Usually Americans start with that greeting like, hi, hey, or hello. We are more used to more formal way like dear, Mr. or Miss, or just the name of the person we are sending the email to. Some cultures, they prefer to start with more formal, like good morning, good day, or etc., or just greetings. So a different way you can do it depending on the relationship you have or the situation. So one email, and we can compare it with others. The subject line, which says just follow up, is really not clear. We have no details what it is about, and probably the recipient wouldn't be that interested to click the button and open the email. So it makes sense to provide more details like what's the follow-up? And here's an example. Feedback request quarter-3 marketing performance report. So it's a bit more clear what's the email about. And usually we start with the dear John, but hi or hello, it also works depending on the company culture. So whenever you join the company, first you observe the way of communication. Is it more formal or informal way they have in the department? And whenever you write outside of the department, you have to be a bit more formal. All right, what's next? It makes sense to be clear what's the email about and what's the reason of writing. And here is one of them. I wanted to touch base regarding the report I sent you. How clear is it? Well, probably if the recipient is aware of the report, it's okay. If not, then it's better to provide more information. You can be a bit more polite and at least I hope this email finds you well, or just skip it. It's also fine. So the more clear and formal way of the purpose or introduction of the email is like, I'm following up on the Q3 marketing performance report I sent on January 2025. Could you please review it and provide your feedback by January or certain days? It really matters to provide this time frame whenever we want to receive the response or reply. That matters, and it helps people to organize a bit better, and of course be clear with the steps you expect from the person who is checking your email. Well, the more formal way would be use the linkers words like first, second, then, after that, additionally, etc. Here we see the word also. It's a simple word and sometimes it works pretty well. If you want to sound a bit more formal, you can use the other words like additionally, and some others like furthermore or showing contrast, however, and others. Be clear with the date and time, let's say, of the meeting. And here somebody wrote like, I'm free anytime. Well, not the best approach. It's better to provide some time frame. It may happen they will think that you have nothing to do or you do nothing, just expecting for the meeting. But it makes sense to provide the time frame or at least the dates or which you feel most comfortable or you think that the other party may feel most comfortable. Looking forward to your response and signing with your full name, your position, and contacts. This is more formal way of writing emails and less formal one. Which one is better? Of course, it makes sense to be clear. On the other hand, as we choose less formal tone, it helps us to build closer relationship with people. All right, so this is about writing emails. Any questions? Anything you'd like to add to this?
If you don't mind, I would like to add my personal comments about this great example, like before and after. And I can say that improved version is a must for professional communication. So all your comments are really valuable and frankly, I didn't know it before I started working on international level, but for everyone who has joined today this webinar, I believe that these tips are really important and valuable because it's your like introduction. When you write email correctly, other person can see that you are professional and your speech and your flow of your thoughts is on the right way and it's acceptable for other person as well. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, Xana, for sharing your thoughts and actual advice is really valuable. All right, good. Well, moving on to meetings, right? As we are limited in time, so we have to be really precise and short. So we cover different topics and aspects of using English. Speaking confidently in English. So first step, it makes sense to be familiar with meeting vocabulary. So what is meeting vocabulary? First of all, the words that you would hear during the formal meetings and of course informals. But as you join the international company, you will hear mostly the formal way of communication. So here are the words, and again, we're going to go through them and practice all together. If you click the link, then you can go to the actually quiz or flashcard set. The ones who are more familiar with Quizlet know that it's great opportunity to practice your English. There are different tests for you and you can do it several times, which really helps to be to remember the words, right? To remember that vocabulary, which is important. All right, just trying to send you the link so you could practice with this set. You can do it on your own or vice versa. Just have fun with your team. All right, going to trying to open this link for you so you could practice. All right, and we continue the discussion about vocabulary. Well, the link is sent. Let me know if you can open it and see the set. All right, and we'll practice this particular set a bit later. Again, if we have time to that, as I planned a lot for today, I really want you to take the most from that meeting. All right, so the first step is why confidence matters. Why we want to feel confident in your speaking, why you want to be fluent. First of all, you'll get respect from colleagues and clients, right? If you sound confident, sometimes people are afraid of making mistakes. Well, mistakes are important to avoid, but they're not that crucial. You can always clarify, right? But as you sound confident, immediately you get respect. We all make mistakes, right? But as you know how to communicate and connect with people, you have great benefits of this. Of course, you want to share your ideas so other could hear this and support your ideas, right? Probably this has even impact for the whole world in the future. So you would need to contribute to the meetings, to share your ideas, to discuss it openly. And for that, you would be confident. You need to be confident in your English. You have to communicate fluently. Apparently, it can help you to build really good relationship and reputation in the company and outside the company. All right, next one. Well, what is challenging? What are the problems, right? The first step I mentioned, fear of mistakes. We don't want to sound awkward. We don't want to make mistakes, right? But there is no way to avoid them. So, what to do? Just communicate, practice with others, make sure that you prepare properly for the meetings, and in this way, you can avoid the most crucial mistakes. All right. Sometimes we feel that we're not qualified, our ideas are not interesting or wouldn't be supported. So it makes sense again to practice with the mindset, to ask the feedback of the colleagues to get that support. Well, in this way, you would need definitely to share your ideas. Sometimes we might fear as we don't know how to translate it to English the right way, or you cannot find the right way to the certain situations or context, right? It might be really tense situations when there is an argument and you're afraid again to share your thoughts in this situation and to stand for yourself, which is more important. It's more difficult to speak to a group of people or to share a presentation is they might be not listening to you, or they have lots of tricky questions and you don't know how to answer them, right? Again, the proper preparation to go through the questions, possible answers, ask other colleagues for feedback, and you can grow in this way. Just do it anyway, even with mistakes, because next time will be much better. How you can prepare for the meeting, all right? Well, preparation is key for sure. So first, research the meeting agenda. Let's say you decided to join some meetings or workshops. It makes sense to check what they're going to discuss there and prepare and make some notes would be beneficial as well. What you'd like to say or to ask during the meeting, or even share some interesting facts about this topic. First is research, but next is you need to understand the terminology that the professionals would use. Questions, anticipate questions. Anticipate, what does it mean? This means predict. or somehow even ask the people what questions might be asked. You can share your presentation with your colleagues or even your friends, right? And ask for feedback. Look, listen to me, please, for a few minutes if you have that time for me. What do you think the questions might appear and how you would answer? There are different techniques, even how to answer the questions. The tricky one, you may just learn it on your own, or if we have time, we'll share it later as well. What other things that matters? It's not enough just to use professional vocabulary, as sometimes you need to tailor your vocabulary to different audiences. Let's say they are professionals that are not exactly involved in the industry. Some of the stakeholders may be not aware of the details or peculiarities of the certain drug or medicine, how it works. So it makes sense to explain them in the clear way, as you want to be convincing. You definitely need to use the words which are clear for others, right? Otherwise, what for the whole conversation? Moving on. Structuring your points. I'd like to share with you the interesting methods of sharing your thoughts, and it's called the prep method. Have you heard about this? Let me know in the chat if you use it previously or just heard about this method. All right. Right, so let's learn about that. So the idea is, first you need to state your main idea. Next one, you need to explain why that's important for the person. Or it might be even sometimes first, explain why that matters so others listen to you and then present your point. Next step would be to support it with some examples, facts, references, so you got more leverage. And then you would need to sum up. Reiterate means repeat the ideas that you stated at the beginning. Let's see several examples and practice with that. So our project timelines needs to be extended by 2 weeks. Well, the problem with deadlines, as always, right? Have to ask for more time for that in the formal way. So first step, you state this point. Next, you provide reason. This is because we identified critical compliance gaps that require immediate attention. Right? Pretty strong reason, right? Example, during the last review, we noticed discrepancies in the patient consent forms that need to be corrected before proceeding. And you repeat again the point at the beginning, extending the timelines, ensure compliance, and avoid regulatory setbacks. It's a bit more formal statement of your thoughts, and you may think if you want to simplify it for different people, you can do it definitely in your own way. All right, let's look at other examples. I recommend hiring 2 additional data analysts for the trials. As always, lack of resources, lack of hands, and have to ask about that, have to speak loudly about that. So first, you just say what you want to say in a calm way, right? Then you support it with some reason explanations. This will help ensure timely analysis and reduce the workloads on the existing teams, right? What are the consequences? You know, the poor health, they cannot do their job. What else? And you are overloaded. You can make mistakes, obviously, because there's too much work, low quality work as the result. And it might have even worse consequences at the end when the product will be excluded from the market, right, for the certain time. So nobody wants it, but we need to remind it somehow and sometime just to make sure they understand the situation properly. And we may provide some examples. Look, last year or in the previous study, a similar adjustment improved the accuracy. So look, there was in one case, or let's say last year we hired additional member staffs, and it really helped us, or vice versa. You may provide the examples when something failed because you didn't hire the additional staff. Supporting with examples matters, right? And at the end, sum up, finish it the right way. Don't repeat it several times the same. Reason and your point. Just be concise. Say it and pause. Let them decide. You brought your message, your idea, right, to the audience, and let the people think on that for a while and hear what would be their objections and responses. All right, investing in resources now will save us time and effort later. So this is another example. Now I want you to practice it a bit with me. So there is another point, let's say the idea statement. We should consider implementing a digital tracking system for clinical suppliers. Right? It makes sense really to help the system to see the updates in the current time. So it would be definitely beneficial. But how to deliver these thoughts for the management, let's say for the upper management. So what would you do? What reason would you provide for that? It's your time to unmute your microphone and just answer. Just practice. We all are here in really close circle to improve your communication in English, and you cannot do it just without practice. So it's the right place, right time for that. All right, I'll share my examples, and you think, how would you explain it in your own way? All right. Is there anyone who would like to speak here? Or you prefer just listen to me? All right. You can think for yourself. How would you change this explanation? But keep this system, right? Say your idea, provide reasons, examples, and again, sum up your idea. Sum up your message in a short manner. All right, there is another one. I believe the identified risks are manageable with proper mitigation strategies. Why you say it? First of all, you want to make the situation clear and share your strategies, right? But what kind of strategies? Well, you know, right? The reason we have previous experience handling similar situations effectively. And And the examples like during last trials, we implemented additional quality checks which prevented data inconsistencies. And again, you repeat the initial phrase. By applying similar strategies, we can minimize risks and stay on track. So this is one more example for you, how you can state your opinion. Well, there are different situations and different ideas, especially tricky ones, and you might think it would be great to say something, right? But you don't know how to structure your idea. When you use this approach, state your point, provide reason, example, and again, repeat it again to emphasize the importance of the idea. Right? Let me know if you like the methods, if that was interesting for you. Will you use it in your meetings in the future? Right, thank you. All right, so let's continue. Well, vocabulary matters, structuring your ideas matters, email matters. But sometimes it happens, the emotions just overwhelm you and you really don't know what to do with that. Somebody may say that, oh, just calm down, don't worry, everything will be fine. What if it doesn't help, right? So what are the techniques just to calm down our brain? First, what works well in lots of situations, deep breathing. You may go outside if there is such an opportunity, so others wouldn't see how you breathe, or just the quiet restroom or any room, and just start breathing deeply and slowly exhale the air from the lungs. After some time, you feel more relaxed and confident. Great way to help you to release this stress and anxiety. Another idea is just focus on the topic but not audience. Think why you are here. You have interesting ideas and you want to share them with the audience. Don't think about anything else. Just focus on what's your role here, what's your goal here. Don't think about others, don't think about judgment. Your role is here to do the right job. All right. Your message is important. Somebody is craving to hear this. They want to discuss it as this is important, right? It makes sense and they need to hear this. And focus on delivering your idea. You may, of course, use slides to support it, as I do today with you. So you see what I'm talking about and remember the information better. What's next? Pause to collect your thoughts. It especially works when somebody asks you a question and you don't know how to respond straight away. So why don't you take time and pause and ask about that? You may even say, oh, that's a tricky question. Let me think about that. And just quickly brainstorm in the head the structure. I always teach my client, have the structure in your head. I have this pattern to feel for any meetings. Whatever your response, make sure you state your point, you clarify when you don't understand something, you provide reason, examples, and to sum up. Don't go through this message several times. till the end, and still you're not sure what you wanted to say. Be clear in your head, just 1, 2, 3, 4, what you want to mention, what makes sense to mention, and try to use the proper structure in your head. It takes time and practice, but with the time, when you show up at the meeting and use this structure, you'll see it's much easier. Next step. It's okay to ask for clarification. Somebody may speak really quiet, not clear, even so they are higher management, professionals, but they are not clearly articulating their thoughts. So why not to ask? They might be overwhelmed and again use your own word choice, or you were not that attentive at the moment, you were distracted somehow. So again, it makes sense to ask. When you ask to clarify, you also show that you listen and you are interested in the topic and you want to provide the answer, or depending on the situation. All right, so these are techniques which helps me and I believe will help you as well. All right, moving on to the next step. Using pharma specific language. So what are the tips? Let's sum up. Use the right terms, avoid the jargon when you're talking to not specialists. What is jargon? Well, there are different terms that you use, which are just unique, let's say, for your department, that you communicate with the certain project, and the abbreviation that some people might be not aware of. So make sense to explain them or deliver the message in the right way. There are different techniques. You may use some metaphorical statement or similar situations related to everyday life. You can simplify the vocabulary used. Just make sure that would be clear for a 10-year-old child, then others would understand it. All right, clarification matters and highlight the understanding of key topics. So if others don't understand, ask them and you are there for them. Just like I'm here to help you with the journey. So please let me know if you have any questions, want to clarify anything. That's right time to do it. And I'm waiting here for you and your questions. You can ask them, of course, in the chat or at the end of the meeting. All right, then let's move on and make sure you save your questions. Remember, there are no wrong questions. It's okay just to ask. Make sure you understand. Whenever you are, whatever the meeting it is, it's okay to show your interest and if you have something you want to clarify, why not to do it at the moment? All right, what else matters? What else matters? Make eye contact with the participants. Sometimes happens that there is a meeting, but as you're shy or not that confident, and you forget to look at the people, right? Or you deliver the presentation and your voice is not clear, or you're too quiet, or you are too quick and they don't understand you. You use difficult vocabulary, as sometimes me, as the meeting today, and you feel puzzled. Oh my God, I don't understand. What is it about? What's next? Ask questions. So during the meeting, it makes sense to ask some questions. What for? Just even sometimes for ourselves, to clarify and to remember the topic of the meeting. Well, which topics or specification is the most difficult for learning? All right. Well, is it the question, Oksana, to me or to others? All right, you'd like to know what topic is the most difficult to learn. All right, there are no easy topics, that's for sure. Everything is difficult, at the same time, it's easy. So we don't focus on that volume we have to know. We just go step by step, right? First, we learn one thing, then another and another. So it's important to break it to manageable steps. In this way, it's easier. It's easier. But sometimes, as in any work, you need to show up daily. This is the most difficult, to stick to the training and to do it consistently every day. This is what the most challenging. And of course, don't overwhelm yourself. Let's say, I know that often people do, they sign up to one course and then another and another, and they want to learn everything at once. It doesn't work for sure. So if you found, let's say, one course on LinkedIn you want to focus, plan it in your calendar, go through this, just one, make some notes and think how would you use it in the future. And only after that, take another one or study something else. As it will be really overwhelming for you, for your brain. You definitely won't remember it all. And what often happens, you study something and you hope that your brain will catch up everything and remember and store and use it at the right time. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So learn the vocabulary, read the article, think about the topic for a while, speak loudly even to yourself, to practice the pronunciation, to discussion the idea, or you preparing for the meeting, just make some keywords for yourself and practice using them, speaking loudly for a while. And in this way, you'll remember the vocabulary, you'll remember the strategy, and you won't have the lack of practice. Sometimes people complain they don't have the place to practice. Well, you can do it on your own. You can join different groups. You can meet even with your colleagues who are interested also in that journey. You can do it, just you would need to have this desire to do it, if that's important, of course, for you. Otherwise, what for all this mess, let's say, right? If you believe it's important for you, take the responsibility and do something. Make a plan, first of all, how you're going to do it, and stick to this plan. During the journey, you might feel, oh, I don't know if that's right way. Oh, probably that's too difficult for me. I should find something different. It's not relevant, etc. Lots of questions. But first, I would recommend to go to the end, learn it, trust it, and then judge how good or bad it is. Okay, and how you can ask questions, all right? Let's say during the presentation, somebody asks you difficult question. What might be difficult question? Something you don't know, right? But you're supposed to know, you had to know, and you feel like, oh my God, what a shame. I don't know how to respond to this. So what are the good strategies? Pause, take time and think. Recognize, acknowledge the question. What does it mean? Say that it's a great question. Pull the time with that, right? Say, oh, that's a great question. It's really interesting. and restate this question. And then if you know the answer, you may tell them. If you don't know the answer, you may delegate it to the audience, ask if somebody else knows the question. Nobody knows the question, what to do next. You have to understand that it's not possible to know everything. If something happens you don't know, tell them that you will find out. Be honest, right? Tell that you don't know this, but you will find out, and you will follow up with them with the question, or you can reference them to somebody who knows. You believe they know this because they are somehow more qualified on that topic, so it makes sense to delegate. Sometimes are just angry people, and they like to actually share this negative energy to somebody else. There are lots of reasons to explain why they do this, but in any company there is always one person like that, pretty annoying, asking questions. They are bored or they are angry with something. Again, stay calm, follow the structure, and if they are too aggressive, then ask someone else who is assisting you in the meeting, just to remove them from the meeting, if that's possible. I know that's not polite, but on the other hand, it affects the whole meeting, as there are other people who are interested in the productive discussion, right? So you may politely ask the person and to have the closer conversation with them, which also works. On one-on-one, you can understand better what's behind their aggressive behavior, right? Or if you have similar situations, please share it with us and let us know how you handle their questions. Oksana, have you had any similar situations in your life when you didn't know the answer?
Of course, I firmly believe that if you don't know the answer, it's okay. It's okay. You can be the person who doesn't know the answer. Just take a pause. Be honest with the audience that you need some time to clarify, or just to gather thoughts and facts, and give feedback later.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. All right, thank you, Oksana. So these were the tips how you can answer tricky questions. Well, we covered a lot today, right? And the vocabulary, the strategies, how to present your message clear, some communication tips. We may say a lot how to be consistent with that, have to recastle, but it's up to you if you take responsibility and go through this. All right, what else I wanted to share with you today, the key phrases for networking and small talk. All right, you can find them with the presentation. You see that we a bit overriding the time, and I don't want to take your time, so I'll leave this with that presentation, and you may just read them and think how they're relevant to you, in case you want to use them at the conference, or just whenever you meet somebody else, a new colleague, or someone you wanted to approach but is really afraid to do it. Okay, next one. Something exciting I want to share with you. And this is 21-day challenge. Why I'm so excited about this program? You know, it's truly transformative program. Lots actually of participants who went through the program, they mentioned this. So this is transformative program. Even so, you cannot learn everything, let's say, in that 21 day, but it really helps you to see the journey, So you learn the vocabulary, you learn how to express yourself, you learn how to build relationship with people, how to compose emails. And today, for the participants of the workshops, you have the unique discount. Instead of $149, you get $89 for that particular program. The program you feel really transformation for yourself. Why this happens? Because you join the group of people who have similar interests as you and oftentimes similar programs. As you go together through all this process, and at the end, you truly become different person. You will see clear what are your next steps. You'll get really insights and understanding how to behave, what to say, how to improve further your English and what to focus on. There are lots of resources available after the program. So you'll get vocabulary booster. If you went through all the presentation till the end with me, so you'll get vocabulary booster. To get this program for free, you need to send me your email in private message. Or if you want to share it with others, feel free to do it. But to be able to have this program vocabulary booster for free, please send me your email to the in chat here. All right. And to be able to get the discount again, so this discount is available only for today. Is we start soon and the price will go up. So if you're interested to change your communication, to break the fear and become more confident, please welcome to join us. I'm sending the link to the chat here. Go through this, learn more details, precisely day by day what we cover in the challenge. If you have any questions, remember I'm here to help you with. As you can see, my website with the program details, there is a button, let's chat. So each time whenever you have, you complete your task, you have a chance to communicate with me directly via WhatsApp or just here, leave your message, add some documents. Sometimes you can see these annoying messages automated from me. Hi, hello, I'm here to help you because I am here to help you and support you with the journey. It's great to see someone who is fluent in English, who has confidence, and it's actually great work. Nothing happens, let's say, immediately, right? It takes time and the right strategies. Let's say you have the right tools. It takes time to build something, right? Either to make any furniture or draw the picture. You need to have the right tools. So I'm offering you these tools and I'm teaching you how to use them to become confident at the end, to have great insights. So you change yourself at the end. We also work on the mindset, which is even sometimes more important to feel confident. So when you understand all the nuances, it helps you to communicate better with your family, sometimes your colleagues, and of course, growing your career, being successful in your career, as everyone is looking for someone who is confident, who knows what he does, and openly share their ideas with others. We are here actually to collaborate, to connect with each other, right? And to create something amazing. As you are in pharma industry, you do amazing job, right? You together make the world healthier, better as a result. Probably you don't think about it on daily basis, but think about the bigger impact for the people, right? that can use this medicine and release their pain they have. The year was pretty difficult for me as I met a challenge with my daughters. She was ill and we had to stay in the hospital really for the whole year. It wasn't easy for us, but I'm grateful there for the people, to the people who created the medicine that would help my daughter to recover. The same for others, but all it takes is communication. It's pleasure to talk to someone who is polite, who is confident, and who knows what he does. Even so, we all can make mistakes. And that's why, there are lots of audits and these regulatory authorities that helps and check why they do it. It's actually because we understand we all make mistakes, but together, we are working together as a team, we can create something special. So let me know if you have any questions related to the program or the workshop today. I would love to hear from you as well.
I don't have a question, but I want to say thank you for new information, and it was really interesting and informative.
Right. Thank you, Helena, for your feedback. Sometimes it's important just to learn from others, and it would be great to share your ideas, right? So don't be afraid to share your ideas whenever any meeting you have. You just need to use this opportunity. And of course, welcome to join other workshops that we'll schedule in the future. All right. Any other questions before we finish for today? All right. So you still have a chance to send me a message via email. Anyway, and at the end, I will wanted to thank everyone for joining our meeting today, joining our workshop. And thank you, Oksana, for sharing your unique tips and ideas about your unique, interesting journey in the pharma industry, as well as the community of pharma professionals that you represent.
Thank you so much for the invitation and for this lovely time. I would like to support Helena that it was really useful, and I firmly believe that everyone got some portion of inspiration to move towards better knowledge of English. And I hope it's not the last time when we can meet and talk, communicate, build network.
All right. You're right, Oksana. This is very optimistic. We never know if that's the last time you have time actually to continue what we do, what we like, what we dream about, right? So let's use each day for such an opportunity. All right, great. So thanks again for joining us today. And thank you, Dasislava, as well for being here, being present, the time that you spend. I'll share the materials with you, so you could go through this on your own. It's not enough just to stay here for 1 hour, but I want you to go through this on your own to get more deeper insight. So that's all for now. Have a great, amazing day, and just bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks.